Yeah, it's been a crazy day. And we're good. All right, let's check our camera views here because I was having a little bit of an issue. All right, we're good there, good there, good there, good there, and good there. Wow, that one looks really good. That's a little dark, but hey. And that's a little lighter version with a slightly different view. And we'll bring that out. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Little lighter version. Okay, I think we're good. All right. Let's bring this down and get started right away. Okay. It's been crazy already. My morning never stops. Let's go ahead and bring out the side view. I'll show you guys a little bit of yesterday. This is the hummingbird we did, cooled down. This is that amber purple color, finalized with a little reveal. I think it came out absolutely stunning. Now that's not 1,000 degrees, I can show you a little more detail on it. So we got that beautiful color going. And we're going to park that guy way up in the top up there. Then this is the one we did the kind of weird color to. So this is that really light sparkle, but we have a little uranium to it. Not a lot, but enough. So I kind of dig that. It's not so obnoxious with the uranium color if you wanted something like that. So I definitely dig that. The eyeball came out, and here we go. How about I use the actual light bulb? There we go. So there's the eyeball. I sent a photo of it to the customer, and he doesn't want eyeballs now. He likes it, but he doesn't want an eyeball. He changed his mind. So we have to redo these, unfortunately. But for an eyeball, it's kind of cool. And then the last one is the actual heart. We'll pop it through here so you guys get a better view. So I love the reveal of this. Ready? There we go. So there is the heart that we did last night. I love that reveal. To me, that just looks so freaking cool. Yeah, I like that. I like that view. I think it looks good. Oh, wrong scene. There we go. Wow, man, this is really off. I am not quite understanding why it is doing this. Unless my camera went bananas last night. Maybe the ghost was messing with it. All right, let's change the view a little bit here. Nope, wrong way. There. Yeah, I'm not so sure what happened there. That's definitely a better view. Let's just change the views all together. Work on it together. Let's bring it in right about there. And do option number 2 here. Update that. Sorry, I'm working with you guys now. Let's bring in camera number 3 version. We're going to bring it over here, bring it in, and punch it in. Right about there. Oh, look at the book. We got the book in there. And then option number 4, we're going to bring it here and going to try something different. We're going to focus in down here. into the marble mold and update that PTZ. All right. Oh, that's too far out. Right about there. I don't know why it didn't update there. All right. We should be good to go now. What do I do with the eyeball now? I'm going to have to send it to the customer. They're paying for it. I mean, they are absolutely going to pay for it because they requested it and chose a different option. I can't obviously be held accountable for that. But, yeah, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get the day started. I'm going to make we're going to make some marbles real quick so I can get that customer's item done. And we're going to start off with a non-memorial right now. We're just going to make a cool-ass marble. If you guys are up for it. Bring it out here. Yeah, I'm wondering if the ghost messed with my stuff because everything is kind of crazy. Your Stinger boys are getting ready to launch their F-16. Oh, hey, there you go. Radioactive hummingbird. Yeah, I actually have a little posting of that. I have a cool little overlay for that. It says radioactive hummingbird and radioactive jellyfish. We have to make a jellyfish. I don't have any more jellyfish here. So maybe we'll do that tonight. Maybe we'll make the jellyfish. I might prep it ahead of time so we can just kind of get to it. And you guys don't have to watch, 9 to 12 little tentacles being made. Because that part would suck. All right, let's go ahead and attach this here. So we're going to be making a couple 2-inch marbles here. I'm going to create the pattern. I still have the glass with the ashes in it, so we'll go ahead and do that later. But for right now, we're going to just make a basic fun marble. All right. So this is the hard part. Once you get these rods assembled, they still move a little bit. It's hard to tell right now, but that is moving ever so slightly. And what ends up happening as a result is they kind of move around as you're working it, and then you get a wobble. And those wobbles suck. All right, we're going to attach another one here. This is how I do some marbles, and I speed up production. I know it's very slow right now. We're going to speed it up a little this way, though. Prepping is half the battle. Why do you kind of favor... What are you talking about, Sketch? I have no idea what you're referring to. It makes no sense to me. What's up, Rainbow? How are you? Okay, custom work can be frustrating. Custom work is frustrating. I make lots of flowers. We are like Flower Central here. I can show you one or two real quick. Yep. Tanya, give me 1 second. I'll show you a couple flowers. Let me just split this apart and I'll bring it up in front of the camera so you get a better view. Oh, dragonfly. Yeah, we got the message about the dragonfly, so we can definitely get it done. I just have to put it in queue for orders. What's up, Catastrophic? Hi, Barbara. Okay. Ooh. So this is kind of my prep for marbles when we get ready. You kind of split the larger rods in half, put them on small punties, preheat them in the kiln, and then come back to it when you're ready, and you have a little bit of heat built into the raw glass. All right, let's go ahead and grab flowers. I don't have really... Oh, yeah, I do. So this became one of my most popular flowers. I'm so sorry I had to tell you. What are you doing with the eyeball now? Oh, I'm sending it to the customer. Customer is paying for the... Customer's definitely paying for the eyeball. They just don't want, like, several of them. All right, here's one of the flowers. This has become one of my favorites. So it looks very cool in normal lighting. Like, this is kind of dark. But when you get sunlight on it or a nice bright light on it, you get this beautiful transitional color busting through it. So this is by far one of my favorites right now, color-wise. So this is one of the flowers we do, and we just started frosting them. I'm working on that a little more. So this is a frosted version. It has a very opalescent look to it, soft pearlescence. I guess that's the term I should use. So it has a very nice soft pearlescence look to it. But I'm traditional. I like this too. I kind of like that design. In fact, we're going to make a vase for that after this. Nope, wrong one. Okay. We're going to leave that out here so I can remember to make a vase. And I'll show the heart one more time from yesterday, and then we really got to get to work. I got to get to work. Got a lot of work to do. All right, let's go back to side view. There we go. So this is one of the reveals I absolutely love when you have a heart like this. What's up, L to the B? And then boom, you got that reveal like that. So in a dark environment, like you're in a restaurant or someplace out, you have this look while you're wearing it. You get into a dimly lit restaurant or a sunny environment, and you get that look. We're going to pop it over to the other side so you guys can see both sides of it. And that's why I love it. It does have two unique sides to it. So it doesn't matter which way you wear it. Both of them have an absolute beautiful color combo. See? There we go. I love those looks, minus my fingerprints. Yeah, this is amber, purple, cobalt, ashes, and yeah, that's it. Amber, purple, cobalt, clear. All right, let's get started. We're going to start off with the marble. Let's preheat it and get it done. Let's get it. Here we go. All right, so we're warming everything up now. Yeah, absolutely, that was amber purple. Yeah, I like that frosty flower. What's the difference between the glass rods you made and the glass rods you melt with blowpipe? There's no difference between the two different glasses. The glass is the same. Just the processes change. You love this as a beginner. Welcome in, super. All right, so we got this all preheated right now. Let's go ahead and try out some of the new views here. Let's see if we can punch in. There we go. So we're going to bring this out. We're going to start striping this. Like I said, we're just going to do some do some unique views and looks at this marble. So this is that Amazon bronze. Actually, before we get too far, I'm going to show you a really cool aspect of this. And then I promise we'll get going. Hold on one second. We're going to split this rod a little bit. I'm going to try and break it just a little bit as it flies. I don't know if the camera is going to pick it up. All right, we're going to bring it as close as I can here. No, it's not picking it up. So at the end of this rod, yeah, it's really having a hell of a time. At the end of this are little fuzzy copper wires running through it. I mean it. They're like little copper wires. To order, you go to thefieryguy.com. So look at my name above there, The Fiery Guy, and just add a .com. Let's go ahead and add the colors in here. So we're going to stripe this down. Now this combo is going to be cool as beans. What we're going to do with this is going to absolutely be awesome. A little bit more, one more. All right, so we're going to take that Amazon bronze here. No, my pleasure. Thank you for asking. So we got the colors running down that way. So we striped 4 different stripes all the way down. And then we're going to come and do some more striping on here. Let's go ahead and grab the next color. The next color is, I always call it caramel, but it's butterscotch. It's literally, it's called butterscotch, but I always call it caramel. Looks like caramel to me. I'm going to stripe it down that way. Like that. All right, we're going to bring it over to the side. So we got caramel and we got the Amazon bronze here. So if you are new to my stream, I do take a long time to do some stuff. There's the butterscotch. And there is the Amazon bronze. I take a while because I like showing the actual process of what goes on throughout making glass. I'm not here to speed run through things. So my job is to just kind of facilitate a fun experience and make it kind of unique. All right, so we're going to take this lime green now, and we're going to buzz a couple lines through it here. Like this. Like that. A little like this and a little like that. What's up, everybody? Hey, Red Squeak, how are you? Laura, I didn't know if I said hi. Chase, what's up? How you doing? I'm just greeting everybody here. All right, we're going to add a little bit of this lime in between these darker colors. You're going to see a little color science here. And how we achieve some amazing effects. And yeah, we're going to go a little bit right there. All right, so we got 3 different colors running through currently. I'm a huge color person. I like showing color. L to the B, thank you for all the gifts. Thank you. And here we go. So now we got lime green running in between those colors and some lighter versions. Okay. Next step, we're going to actually add some yellow. So this is a very, very bright crayon-y yellow. Now I'm not going to overpower this piece with it, but we need to add it in if I want to achieve the color assignment that I want. And we're going to come over here and go right in between. Right here, and that should be enough of this yellow. Gotta look at where I'm at. Unfortunately, yellow, when it's super hot, I'll show you this. This is kind of trippy, and it's hard to work with, in all honesty, too. So when we make the yellow and we get it super hot, you can see it looks all orangey there. Until it cools down. There's the cool version, and then it looks like that until it cools off. It's a little frustrating when you're working with it. In fact, it's not a little frustrating, it's very frustrating. Okay, so last little bit here, we're going to add some black. So black always adds a little bit of contrast to what I'm doing here. Because the pattern we're going to create is that finger painting pattern. Okay, I ran it right there and probably right here. Like that. So just a little bit. Now we have everything we need. We're going to bring it over. I'm going to show you what we got, and then we'll start forming the patterns in here. So now we have lots of color running through there. All different versions. See how much that black punched up all those greens? It just makes a huge difference. Okay. So we got all that done. Let's go ahead and start patterning the color out here. All right, let me try a different view. Nope, that's too far. Too far. Okay, I guess we're going to be stuck with that at the moment. Okay. There's my clear rod. So we're going to take a clear glass rod like this. We're going to start patterning the color up. Yeah, I don't do any horses. Sorry. It would be cool, but I don't do them. I don't make horses. I would like to, but I can't get them down. That's one of those items I just don't do very well. I'm not real super happy here. Let's punch it in just a little bit, right about there. All right. So we're going to start patterning this out. And I call this technique finger painting. Other people call it different things. I'm going to name stuff according to what I like. And if the industry doesn't like it, tough. You guys will get used to the way I say things, and that way on the stream you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because when I start saying things like punty, wigwag, reversal, If you're not in the business, it's hard to understand what I'm talking about. But if I say I'm going to finger paint the glass, you get a visual. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what I just did. And we're going to bring it out here, and boom. Oops. Side view. Okay. You don't see my pension? I don't understand on the website. I don't know what you're looking for. Look at that pattern now. See how we just got that and we transformed it from that. So this is what we're going to do around the whole marble. Oh, pens. They're not up yet. We're working on the pens. So that is what we're transforming to versus that. And that's the finger painting. Yeah, that part, I love this part. So whenever I did like glassblowing lessons, if you really want a uranium horse, message me. I can definitely refer you to someone that can do it. Anyway, I like this pattern, and when I used to do like glass experiences with people, this was one of those processes you got to do, and people would just kind of get immersed into it and just had a really good time, because it's a lot of fun. It is literally finger painting with molten glass. And sometimes I'd have to tell someone, okay, we've been finger painting for 20 minutes. We got to actually make the item, which was kind of funny. So we just have to do that all the way around. Organically, I think this is one of my favorite designs ever. And I kind of envision, I think of like space or tide pools. So if I'm doing a lot of blues and greens, I want it to look like a tide pool. If I'm doing the darker colors like this, I kind of think of space. Nebulas, galaxies, things like that. So let's bring it out. Again, I take a while to do this. I'm not going to rush through. But we got that beautiful color combo right there versus that. So there's the straight lines that we were doing. And then this is the result. I think that's freaking gorgeous. Me personally, I like that. That's cool. But that's awesome. Yeah, we sold the wolf. That went to a good home. Maybe we'll make another one at some point. Right now we have a lot of stuff. I know like Bayo, she's not on right now, but she wants a blue hippopotamus, so she's in queue for getting custom. My custom order requests are built up. Red Squeak is 100% in the queue for her project. I think we just had a small crack in here. Not in the main piece, but in my holding rod. So I gotta be a little gentle here. Yep, we definitely had a little crack in there. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Sorry, again, I go through a lot of processes so you guys get the full experience, or the full Monty, if you will. I shouldn't say that, but see that little crack down there? It's right where the color's ending and the rod is attached right there. You can see that little crack running through there. Now, this isn't going to affect my piece at all, but when I'm applying the color, we could end up knocking this off of the holding rod here. And dual screen. I'm going to change the view just a tiny bit. Sorry, guys. There. Actually, I like that view. That looks good. Let's update. I don't know which one we're on right there. Okay, so we're going to attach a holding rod. We're going to start compressing this into a full-blown marble. Let's go ahead and do that now. Sheep? No, never done sheep. Nobody's ever asked for sheep. Let's go ahead and engage the full bore flame here. Let's add a little heat. Done a panther, but I did the panther out of all clear. No color to it. All right, let's start pushing in. A little bit and get a really cool looking marble here. So we kind of have to push this together a little slow. I don't want to distort too much. I want to keep all those really neat looking designs in there. So just take your time and slowly build it up. And so far so good. We're looking okay. I'm keeping the patterns in there. What I'm trying not to do is twist the glass up too much. I don't want to spin it around and have it twist anymore. So that is what I'm primarily focused on right this second. And there we go. We're going to pull this end off. Whew. That actually looks good. Then we got to close this down here. We will twist a little bit down there just to bring all that color front and center. Like that. This is 32 years. I've had the pleasure of doing this job for 32 years. So we've got lots of colors running through here. You can see the patterning up there. And we kept it pretty consistent on the sides now. So it's just going to create this really cool looking marble effect. Yeah, I agree. I love the swirly stuff. Thank you, Scythe. Okay, and here we go. We're going to make it look really good. And here we go. Let's get it melted. Let's get melty. Yeah, this has been 32 wonderful years. So we're going to try out the new view here. We'll see if we can get the marble mold looking kind of cool. All right, we're going to try this view and bring it down. Oh, that's kind of cool. I do like that view. So this is how we start shaping everything like that. I can do that. I can get back into that. There we go. 28, I've wanted to learn. 28's young. You got lots of time. What's the piece I'm most proud of? I got a few pieces I'm pretty happy with. I can show you a really cool piece. I have this little dragon dagger I love. You're more than welcome to, if you guys want to see the dragon dagger and you have not seen it, go ahead and just type a 1 in the chat, and I can go ahead and bring it out so you can see it. It just sits nearby. If you have not seen it before and you'd like to check it out, it's an all glass dagger. It's about 19 inches top to bottom. All right, we got this all spinning up here. Why does everybody refer to that M jump? Why do you even say that? That's like the most disrespectful thing to say to a glass blower. It's like totally irresponsible. Okay, let's bring this out. Let's try the longer view here. Here we go. So that is my dragon dagger. Dolphins are covering it. I can't get it too close to the flame, but there we go. We've got the all glass blade. We got the dragon handle. We're going to use the side view, and we're going to bring it out right there. So then we got the dragon head rocking that way, little detail in it. I designed it to have a matte side like this or a shiny side. You can choose how you want to hang it up. Then we got the blade all the way through. Anyway, that's one of my favorites. Yeah, I love that one. It's not even for sale. I just like it. Okay, we're going to bring this out and just start forming this up. Let's try the view again. I want to try the marble view. Bring it in so you guys get a better look at this. I think this is kind of cool. So now we start getting it shaped in. And then this is the smaller mold. So see how it's not fitting into it? That's how you get it more round, right like that. I'm going to bounce that in. And back out. Let's go ahead and punty this up so we can make the other side. Ooh, the sun is blaring in. Damn it. So now we got to pull this down and make it into it. We're making a marble, like a bigger marble, a little bit bigger. This one should be roughly 2 inches when I'm done. It's like my happy spot for marbles. A lot of marble collectors out there. I think they look good on a desk with a little stand. And if you're someone that works remotely or even in an office where you gotta, how should I put this? Like you got to look like you're typing, but you got to step away from your desk. So you put a little keyboard buddy on your keyboard so it looks like you're typing. This works really good for that. Because when you get back, you just take it off your keyboard and you just have it on your desk. Nobody knows the difference. Yeah, marbles were, back in the day, that for me was a great experience. All right, let's bring it in a little closer here. We're going to start melting it in. I'll show you kind of where we're at and how we melt everything in. Let's bring it out, side view. So this is the point at which we got lots of color running through. At the moment, we're going to bring it out here. We got the little swirl right there. Now we just have to blend everything in and get it to look good. And here we go. We got just melty. This is the hardest part right here, patience. I want to just hit this thing with the hardest flame I could possibly do. But I'd end up wrecking it or making it not look so good. Just have to be patient to let it all melt in. All right, let's go ahead and show you what my filter is. So my lenses on my glasses have a material called didymium glass. Didymium is a very purple, pinky looking glass. See how I turned purple? But it filters out certain light spectrums. So while I'm working, I can see into the fire. We're going to kick it down just a little notch here. Use a smaller flame, and here we go, 3, 2, 1. Now you can see we cut out a majority of that flame. In fact, the top portion, once it's exiting the glass right there, literally looks like it's disappeared versus that. So this is how I can see what's going on while I'm making things. What's up, Bayo? And there we go. So I love that look. That to me is awesome. The drawback of that, if I put it on the camera full time, that's all you would see. You'd miss out on reds, yellows, all those fun colors. All the glass blowers would be happy if I did that, but everybody else would not. Okay, so we just have to round this out. I'm excited. Let's go into the marble mold. This should show a great view of what happens when we bring it into the mold here. I almost said moldy. Okay, we're focused right in on the marble mold. We're going to bring it down. I hope I get a good camera view of this. So we're going to start out at the bigger one here. Melt that in. Then we're going to come down to a smaller size mold, which is just in front of it, that little half dome in front. This is what gets everything super round, like that. Not when it fits into the mold, but when it runs around the entire rim of the outside of it. And then you can just kind of spin it up. You can see it's running pretty smooth. We got a few little hot spots that we need to fix. So one of the things you're going to look at, you're going to see a little hexagon looking light reflecting off of this. Keep your eye on that light, and you're going to see it kind of bounce around or stay smooth. It's right towards the middle of the marble, down towards the mold. See it right there? Now on the bottom portion, it's pretty smooth, but right there, you can see it moves. See that little spot right there, that tells me I got a high spot or a low spot right there. Everywhere else is good. So that's what I'm looking at when I start working with this marble here. I am looking for high spots, high and low. One more time this way. What do y'all think of the marble view? You like this view, or should I do away with it? I mean, it's not permanently here, but should we keep it or get rid of it? See, now we got it all fixed up. And let's bring it back out. Like that. It is like a little planet, to be honest. It really is. All right, let's take a look at it from the side view, how we're looking from the top. So this is how we got a little portal window right there, but that will kind of cover up when this glass starts forming and the colors start coming out. You can see a little swirl in there. We got some fun colors bouncing in. Bring it right up there. So there will be a little, see those little streaks right there? Deep inside, they're very faint. That will be color when it's all done. So we got that portion done. Now we just have to reverse. So we're going to put a holding rod on this side, round out the other side perfectly, and this one will be done. We call it complete. That's a little short, but that'll work. It'll work for the moment. Like that. So this is the last stage. That is barely on there. So it's attached, but not fused. There's a huge difference between the two. And this is how you prepare it to remove the marble from the stick or the glass rod. Everybody always says stick, so that's what I refer to it as. I'm going to park that out there. Let's go ahead and remove this little excess, this little clear nipple off here. I'm just going to bring it out, grab it, pull it down. And we're going to round it out a little bit. Let's go ahead and go back to the marble view. This might be kind of fun to edit. Yeah, no bongs, no dongs. I don't have a problem with the industry. I just don't make them. It's not like people are lacking choices out there for designs and styles and inventory. All right, let's go ahead and bring this in. And this is the final version here. My holding rod's a little bent, but that's okay. A little bit more, and it should be good to go. Look at that. We're all good. Running smooth. Everything's good to go. And we are good. Let's pop off to a side view. I'm going to leave it on the side view for a little bit. What's behind my head? Hopefully not a ghost. That is my chandelier. It's just kind of like a fun little chandelier. So now we got all these colors running through. I told you it looked pretty awesome. Little spiral right there. Now we've got several colors bouncing through here, and more will show up after it sits in the kiln for a little bit. But yeah, there we go. A little chaotic marble. We're going to grab Dragonfly Creations' little marble holder here. They're very, very nice. Awesome little items. This is how you remove it. You grab it here like that, and you just tap, and off it comes. I'm going to try and show you the little punty mark here. See it right there? Dead center, that little scar. That is where the rod was attached. That is called the punty mark. And then once you detach the rod, you just simply smooth it out. In a nice flame, and poof, like magic, it's gone. It's like magic. And then we got all the colors. So this has a beautiful little swirl running through that way, that way. Let me make sure we're round. Yep. Just had to make sure we had all the roundness done. All right. I love that. Definitely has some fiery color in there. That's going to be a little more orangey when it's all done. But yeah, I love these colors. I think they look really, really good. Stay. And there we go. I do not know why this window keeps collapsing on me right there. Sorry, I'm just reframing everything here. I don't know what happened to my camera settings, but it definitely got messed up. Okay. Let me just run through it real quick. I'm so sorry for the delay. And down. All right, we're good. All right, yeah, thank you for the subscriptions. I appreciate that. If you are in YouTube and you want to subscribe, that would be fantastic. And if you're on TikTok, a follow would be nice. All right, so we're going to make a quick vase for this flower. It's a little pearlescent. It does have pink to it. Let's bring it outside view so you guys get a little bit of a view to it. So this does have a filter on this camera, so it doesn't show the pink as well. But that does have a little front. You can see a little pink right there. So we're going to make a little mini vase for it. And oops. There. Let's see if I can get the color to show up this way. Oh, you got a little bit of a pink. Now you can see a little more pink to it. Why would I do that, John? There we are. And pop it back out. And there we go. Let's make a little mini vase. Actually, we're going to make it out of green. I got green tubing up here. We're going to make a really cool color combo here. Wow, got my TikTok on there first time. Okay, so this process, we're going to take this dark green. We're going to silver fume it with silver. I've done all sorts of animals. The only one I don't make is really a horse. Not because I dislike horses. I'm not good at them. When I'm making things like animals, as I'm going through, I kind of have a vision of what the animal is supposed to look like. And for some reason, as I'm making a horse, I can do the head perfect. But the body is I don't have that down. There are structures of the horse I just don't have down perfect. So, yeah, that's why I don't make a horse right now. All right, so we're going to pull this down. And that is one of the most basic things you could do right there when learning. That is called pulling a point. And what ended up happening is I pulled this tube and we stretched it out to that little handle right there. And that becomes your blow tube for your next item. So you're manufacturing your next blow tube every time you do that. Just call it a donkey. No, it doesn't even come out like a donkey. It comes out like a Doberman. That's the problem. I'm not even close to it. It literally comes out like a Doberman pinscher. So, and there are lots of people that make horses, so I don't really need to make it. You know, one of my absolute goals this year is to make the axolotl. I really want to make an axolotl this year. I want to develop it, figure it out, make it look really good. I like those little creatures. Yep, I definitely like axolotls. Thank you so much. Who is that? Said that. Real Truth. I appreciate that. All right, so we're going to do a process here called silver fuming. We're going to use the side view because it shows it a little better. Spiders are possible, but there is a guy that makes really, really, really good spiders. I wouldn't even try to compete with him. He makes really good spiders. His name is Raphael Glass. He's on here. He's on TikTok. Just look up Raphael Glass. And he makes amazing spiders. Actually, amazing bugs. He even makes a praying mantis. Okay, so here we are. We've got this green. Now, it's dark right now, so it's not going to show its true color right now. But I want to show it to you before we get at it. There we are. So this is a dark green, okay? The process we're going to do right now is called fuming. And on here is a little silver nugget. You can see it right there at the very top of that rod. Just a little tiny chunk of silver. What's going to happen is we're going to hit this flame right about there, and we're going to bring that silver nugget into the flame real close to the tip. The silver is going to become lighter in nanoparticles, and it's going to transfer via the flame onto the tubing. So here we go. We're transferring it right now. And it is literally silver plating that glass. It's a very fast process. But now you can see that that has pure silver. And it is pure. It's 0.9999 pure. And you can see we just plated it and changed that coloring all up. Now, when we get done with it, we're going to be burning off as much silver as possible. Okay. There we go. So my goal now is to try and burn enough of that silver off that it leaves just a trace. I don't want to burn it all off. I just want to leave a little trace of it. And then it's going to leave a really cool looking. Yeah, I told you spiders are amazing. Can you break that? For sure. All right, so what's going to happen now, we're going to punty it to the bottom down here. Basically going to have a holding rod. Like that, we're going to keep it as straight as possible, and then we're going to just shape this out a little bit so I can make a little mini vase for that flower. And while we're starting to shape it, we're burning some of that silver off. Thank you, Epic81. I appreciate that. So we're just gently heating here. This is the actual glass blowing portion of my job. Okay, we're going to try and keep it as straight as possible. There we go. Good to go. We're going to be making a little mini vase for a flower that I have. The flower's already done. I'm making a little mini vase for it. Okay, we're going to pull this end off here. So let me show you what we accomplished so far. So there is the green with the silver. Now, be prepared to see this total change on it, okay? Y'all ready? Remember, it was all dark green with silver. 3, 2, 1. So now we got those colors. That's what the silver did to that green. So we just made that color combo right there. And that's the process of silver feeling. You can see how beautiful it looks when you do it just right. And let's go ahead. We're going to add a lot of color to the bottom now. I need to weight this thing down. Okay, I don't want it to tip. So we're going to have to weight it down. So we're going to add lots of color, spin it up, make it look oceany, like an oceanic little craziness. So we're going to add lots of little color down here. A little bit right there. Yeah, I am going to throw a little electrum in here. I kind of want to see what this does. We're going to throw a little liquid metal looking stuff in here. Thank you, Melissa. Yeah, I like that. The green with silver feeling looks amazing always. All right, we're going to add this like liquid metal looking glass into it. Just a touch of it. And I'm debating here. A little bit of the butterscotch. Okay, here we go. We're going to add just a touch more. Like that. So once we get all that done, we're going to do that same finger painting technique on the bottom here. We're going to add a lot of, definitely going to add a lot of texture to it. But now we can see all the lines running through there. They don't have to be super even because we're going to be blending it anyway, but you can see all the colors bouncing through there. And then we got that really nice electric blue going for the moment. All right, next step, we're going to grab the clear and we're going to finger paint the hell out of it. Yeah, wait till you see it now. This will make the liquid metal look way better. We're going to get a really nice shimmer to it. Because right now we're just kind of mixing all the colors up. Again, I call this my finger painting technique. People call it other things, but I just say finger painting and everybody understands what the heck I'm talking about. Okay, we're going to bring it in. I'll show you pre-swirls and then just so you guys can get a good view. So again, when I go through this stuff, I'm kind of showing you different stages. I'm not trying to teach this, but I think it's really important to... No, it's not a black light. It is just straight up flashlight. So there's the color swirls, and then there's the lines that we're converting over. No, that would be the black light right there. That is the black light version. There's the regular light. No, don't need a black light for that look. All right, let's transform this all the way through. And again, I kind of envision either a space theme or ocean tides when I'm making these little swirls. I'll do my Bob Ross moment. Happy little swirls. Okay. So now we got lots of color bouncing through here. I'm going to move this up just a little so you guys can watch the flattening process. How much fuel do I go through in a day? I don't know per day. I just go through monthly. I just know my monthly costs. Every day varies. I mean, it depends. Am I running this flame, or that one? Each one has a different variation as to how much you go through. Yeah, if I'm running this one, I go through a lot. And if I get any Gretas in here, I purposely turn that one on. All right, so we got to get this super hot. And then we're going to slowly blow it out. Not much, just a little bit. Got to get it to a ooey gooey point. Almost done, almost done. Here we go. Going to have to shrink it back down and blow it back out. It's a little uneven. So when you do this, if you blow it out and it has a little wobble to it or it looks a little uneven, you can shrink it back down and reapply pressure to straighten it out. Glass is extremely forgiving. It's one of the few materials that you can mess up on and go back and redo. That's what would scare me about like woodworking. You know, you get through and all of a sudden you chip a part off that you're not supposed to chip off, and you're like, oh damn, and it's done. All right, we got a big old bobble there. I'm going to try and leave it this wide. We're going to shrink it down a little bit. It's a little thinner than I like, but we'll see. Okay, we're looking good. Now, I always punch a little, oh, it automatically did it. I always punch a little divot in the middle. If you ever notice like a wine bottle or something and it has a tiny little divot like in the middle section, and that's to keep it balanced. So if you go to put it on an uneven surface, it's not high centering. It's not centering from the middle out. It'll kind of have a little... I'm just going to push it in a little bit, not much, just like that. Then flatten it one more time. Then just let it sit for a second. While it's doing that, make sure it's all good. We're good to go. Okay, let me show you from side view. So we got a beautiful set of colors now on the bottom of that vase, like that. So we kind of created that little bit of an oceanic theme. Bring it out, grab my little grabbers here. Preheat this up. Always got to preheat the tool a little bit before adding it. You don't want to thermal shock this sucker. And we're going to grip it right there. And we got to remove the top for the vase. Oops, it's crooked. There we go. This part is hella fun. I never get... Oh, shit. Except for that. So I cooled it off too much. It exploded. We're going to make a mini vase now. That was not expected. So now it's a mini vase. Wow. Man, that shattered. And that happened from me letting it cool off too much. Totally my fault. That was a very much a rookie mistake. Damn it. Oh well. We'll make it whistle. Make it cry in pain. Hear it? We'll make it cry in pain there. All right, let's get this thing melted out. Well, that was a total fail. We'll save it for something else. Maybe we'll make a little mini flower for it. And that's the job. When that stuff happens, you cannot get mad at the glass. You really can't. That's just the job. All right, let's go ahead and make this into like a little pitcher looking vase. I kind of curved it out that way a little bit, so let's give it a little pour spout. We'll make it into a little mini, like that. There. Kind of happy little accident. What's up, Daisy girl? How you doing? Just had a nice little explosion. It happens. All right, there we go. So now we got the little mini vase. I put a little pour spout on there. I'm debating whether I should put a handle on it. It's still beautiful. But I'm wondering if I should put a little handle on the back end here. So we got the pour spout, put a little handle on that section. Might look kind of cool. But yeah, we still got beautiful colors bouncing through there. And we're going to pop that in the kiln. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Okay, I got to shut down for a little bit and clean up my mess because I got little glass shards everywhere now. So these are the result of that. Little glass shards everywhere. So I got to pick that up off my bench before I cut myself. This is a little dangerous. And right now it's still hot. So I need to let it cool for a minute and then pick it all up. Yeah, no, it's okay. So I need to let it cool off and we'll be right back. Let me get this all cleaned up. So probably about 15 minutes on this to cool it off and clean it up. I don't want to suck up hot glass with the vacuum.